What's Gucci YouTube? It is your boy Killadlphia, and today I'm here bringing you guys 10 most haunted objects in the world. So 10 most haunted objects in the world has to be, I guess like demonic, satanic, and haunted objects, I'm guessing. But anyway, this video is by Mindchop, and I'm just doing a reaction video to it. So let's get right into the video.
Number 10. The Anguished Man. Surrounded by mystery and blood magic, this painting has been a source of strange occurrences for 2 generations of the Robinson family. Decades ago, a woman received the gift of a painting named the Anguished Man. Turns out she was incredibly unhappy with the gift, as she claimed that it brought an evil presence with it. Fearing for her safety, she placed it in her attic for over 25 years. Why didn't she throw it away? Well, I don't know. All those years later, Miss Robinson's grandson took the painting from her attic and hung it on his wall in defiance to her haunting stories. Turns out that wasn't the best move. Not long after he inherited the painting, he and his wife began to claim seeing a dark figure at the corner of the room and heard crying from the painting itself. Once, she even claimed something was stroking her hair. It is said that the artist who painted this painting mixed blood into his paint and killed himself not long after he finished it. The Robinson family was certainly chilled by this, prompting much discussion, and even releasing a YouTube video with an example of what they experienced. Google it.
Hold up, let me pause this video because the same colors on this painting look like the same colors on this painting. What the fuck? Anyway, let's continue the video.
Sit back and see for yourself. Number 9. Sit back and relax. Speaking of sitting, suspended 5 feet in the air, located in a museum in England, is a chair. This is no ordinary chair. By no means should you ever sit in this chair, ever. In 1702, a man by the name of Bubsy was sentenced to death. On death row, he had his final meal served at his favorite pub. When he finished his meal, he uttered, "May sudden death come to anyone who dare sit in my chair." And death did come. For hundreds of years, this chair remained in the pub while people drunkenly dared each other to sit in it. In World War II, people began to notice that all the airmen that used the chair were shot down. Later, 2 pilots who sat in the chair crashed, a man fell into a hole, and a cleaning lady died of a brain tumor.
Wow.
Finally, and justifiably so, the pub owner was tired of the chair and sent it to a local museum for safekeeping.
I don't blame him.
Stay clear, my friends.
I would have did the same shit.
Number 8. Hate Box. Start the story off with Jewish antiques, Nazi concentration camps, and I guarantee you will not have a good time. In 2001, a 103-year-old woman tried to auction off her wine cabinet with her granddaughter. She allegedly brought this cabinet overseas to America along with 2 other items after being the lone survivor of the death camps in her family. Boy, did the bad feelings follow her. The woman neglected to explain that the cabinet was actually a Dybbuk box, which is a Jewish wine cabinet that is supposed to be haunted by a vicious spirit that will haunt and possess anyone that handles it.
Hell no.
For some reason, the woman requested that she be buried with the box, but her family did not agree. The auctioneer tried to return it, but the granddaughter became enraged and adamantly refused to take it back. One thing you should never do with a Dybbuk is open it, but the auctioneer did. One day, he received a call from his shop from his assistant, utterly horrified that the gates had been locked and all the light bulbs exploded, leaving a cat urine smell lingering. Fearing for his own safety, he gave it to his mother. But seriously, who in their right mind would wish this crap upon their mother? Unfortunately, she suffered a stroke and cried the word hate gift out at the hospital.
That's sick.
Every other person he tried to gift it to also suffered and then returned it.
My skin is
As it turned out, no one else would take his gift. Everyone who encountered it began to suffer the same nightmares, and as he woke, he claimed a shadowy figure was breathing on his neck. The auctioneer tried to sell it on eBay with his story, and the movie The Possession was released detailing these events.
That's sick.
Number 7. The Hands Resist Him. There's an eBay theme coming along here. In 2000, an eBay listing tried to sell a painting by an artist named Bill Stoneham titled The Hands Resist Him. The image depicts a small boy and a doll staring at the viewer with a dark window behind it covered in hands. Apparently, the boy stares straight into your soul. When a couple purchased it, they alleged that the figures would move around at night and even come out into the room. Sounds pretty far-fetched to me, but people who look at the painting tend to feel sick. Children flat out run from it. Apparently, they can feel the hands reaching out towards them. The painting even affects inanimate objects and stopped printers from printing a photo of it. While other print jobs work without
The
issue.
video just stopped.
When the artist Stoneham found out about the notoriety of
I
his
did not
work,
do that.
he realized that 2 of his friends who reviewed the painting did die within a year. How about next time we resist looking at this painting just to be on the safe side?
Now you say that.
Number 6. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Why people choose to stay at haunted hotels is beyond me. But if you ever feel adventurous and brave, pay a visit to Myrtle's Plantation. Converted into a bed and breakfast, this site houses on an Indian burial ground and is rumored to be the location of murders and creepy events galore. If you look into the mirror long enough, you will find that people are inside. According to the rumors, the spirit of Sarah Woodruff and her children remain trapped inside after being poisoned to death.
People stuck
Don't look
inside
into
a
the mirror
mirror?
too long. It's rumored that they are trying to pull someone in to replace them. I guess the description for this place should be bed, breakfast, and banishment.
I'd destroy that mirror so fast.
Number 5. The Toulmin bunk beds. Bunk beds are usually a source of fun for kids, but not this time. When the Toulmins bought one for their children, they placed it in the garage, waiting to eventually place it upstairs in the kids' room. Then, it all started to happen. The children became scared sick, literally. They warned their parents of a witch that would occasionally visit them and change the station of the radio. As a religious family, the Toulmins sought help of a pastor who did his best to cleanse the house of evil spirits. To their dismay, he was not successful. One evening, upon their return, the father heard a raspy voice instruct them to enter the garage. When doing so, he found the room on fire and ran outside to grab the extinguisher. When he returned, the fire was gone. Doing what any responsible parent would do, he burned the thing to the ground.
I would have did the same
Things
thing.
have been
Shouts
better
out to
since
him.
then.
Shouts out to him.
Number 4. The Conjuring Chest. Back when slaves were still a part of common society, a man named Hosey built a beautiful chest for his owner, Jacob Cooley, in preparation for his son that was still in the womb. Although the chest was marvelous, Cooley beat Hosey so severely that it ended in his death. Bitter over the mistreatment of their comrade, one night many of Hosey's friends snuck the chest into their cabin and covered it with blood and sung a conjuring chant that would haunt the Cooley family for as long as they existed. In a satisfying way to the slaves, Cooley's first infant son, the one that Hosey created the chest for, died as a baby. The second son was stabbed. Now, if I kept listing all the people who were affected by this, I would have to explain how 17 of the Cooley family were killed by the unnatural forces of this curse. One by one, members of the family dropped in a Final Destination-style story. The last one to own the chest, Miss Hudson, finally figured out the relationship between the chest and the slew of deaths. She gave it to the Kentucky History Museum, where they have placed a talisman to ward off the curse.
Wow.
I doubt it will be necessary. I think the Cooleys have suffered enough for their ancestors' crimes.
Wow.
Number 3. It Wasn't Me. Robert Eugene Otto owned a doll in 1896. He loved this doll so much he would talk to it all day, every day. His parents did not take much notice of it until servants became concerned of deep voices that allegedly came from the doll that responded to Otto. One time, they even saw the doll move to and from the window from the neighbor's house.
Fuck no!
As suspicion mounted, chaos ensued. Otto would scream in a room where everything was destroyed, repeatedly blaming his doll for the destruction. Distraught and afraid, they left the doll in the attic. When Robert died, another family moved in, and the young girl who found it immediately knew that the doll wanted to kill her. Smart girl. The family threw it to a museum where it still resides until this day. You must ask for permission to take a photo of it, lest you wish to be haunted. Forget that. Turn the flash off, and turn the camera off also.
Yeah, for real.
Number 2,
Oh my.
Annabelle. In continuing the doll trend, our number 2 is the story of Annabelle. When a woman purchased a worn play toy from a thrift shop in 1970, her daughter took and kept it with her in her apartment. From then on, a series of strange events began to take place. Though no one touched it, they would often find it in other rooms. Creepier yet, they noticed pieces of paper on the floor with children's handwriting. Concerned, they brought it to a psychic to help them communicate with the presence haunting them. According to the help, the doll was inhabited by the ghost of a young girl named Annabelle who died in the apartment some time ago. Annabelle replied that she was just looking for a friend. The girl and her roommate sadly chose to let Annabelle stay. As time went on, paranormal occurrences became more and more frequent, attacking one of their male friends. On closer inspection by 2 famous psychic investigators, they realized that Annabelle was in fact a demon lying about its identity. Annabelle is now locked in a glass cabinet with a sign reading, "Warning, positively do not open."
Yes, please don't. Please don't.
Number 1,
Whoa.
Iceman. Some things are better
The heck
left
is that?
undisturbed. The finale is Etsy, the Stone Age man frozen in ice. From his discovery in 1991, the spitefully poor luck of the Iceman has preyed upon all those who were related to it. The 53-century-old man's finder, a 67-year-old hiker, returned to the place where he found him and died in a freak blizzard.
What?
At his funeral, the leader of the search party to rescue the hiker died an hour later of a heart attack, and that was followed by the researcher who inspected Etsy. Not learning from this pattern, researchers began to fall victim to Etsy's curse.
Wow.
A man going to go give a lecture on it died unexpectedly in a car crash.
What?
More researchers have died of strange causes after attempting to study the relic. For now, Etsy remains in a refrigerated room in Belanzo, Italy, where he can continue his rest undisturbed.
Keep him there. That video was hella creepy though, by the way. I'm not even gonna, bro, this has been one of the creepiest videos I've ever saw, bro. When you guys are buying something, make sure you check it out, yo. Make sure you check it out before you buy it. That's my biggest advice, but as always, guys, hope you liked the video. It's your boy Killadlphia taking off on the 992. Peace.